A few months ago, when Square stock was trading in the $120 range, I posted a video about why I believe Square stock is worth over $200 in 2020. With Square approaching $200 per share and up 35% in the last 30 days, I thought I'd give you my thoughts on why Square stock is going up and why I believe it's worth $200 per share in 2020. If you'd like to see my future valuations and analysis of companies, it would help a lot if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all of your support. It's hard to know exactly why a stock price rises without huge news, but I think there's a few factors why Square stock is going up. The first is more and more analysts have upgraded their price targets recently as they are buying into the competitive advantages of Square and their long-term story. The second factor is I think Square and the whole market in general has benefited from the optimism around a new stimulus deal. It seems like lawmakers on both sides want to get a deal done. And if there is $1 trillion in stimulus money handed out, I wouldn't be surprised to see Square stock jump even more. The third factor is tech stocks have been in demand since the pandemic started, and the trend hasn't slowed down. I think Square, as one of the most popular tech companies with a well-known founder in Jack Dorsey, is an obvious choice to invest in as more investors learn about the company and their growth opportunities. But the biggest growth catalyst for Square stock by far is the fast-growing Cash App. In my first video on Square, you'll see how my intrinsic value of $203 per share for Square in 2020 is heavily based on the Cash App overtaking traditional banks by becoming a leading consumer digital bank. If you'd like to know how I got to the numbers I estimated for the Cash App in my valuation, I've included a link in the description so you can watch it. The Cash App already acts as a financial services provider by providing peer-to-peer payments, a debit card, direct deposits, equity and Bitcoin investing, and you can get personal loans with the Cash App's latest feature. Jack Dorsey talks a lot about how with the Cash App you can do everything in one place, and you can already see that playing out as the Cash App allows you to buy stuff with the Cash App card, send money to family and friends, earn discounts with the Cash App's reward program, and you can invest in stocks and Bitcoin directly from the Cash App. The Cash App is becoming more and more the way people spend, save, and invest their money, and that's what the numbers show in Square's financials. In my Q2 Square earnings recap video, I talked about how the Cash App now has over 30 million active users and that the average revenue per user increased to $45, which is up 3 times since 2017. A major factor in my Square valuation that shows Square is worth over $200 per share right now is the Cash App's future ARPU, which I believe continues to grow exponentially and reaches the equivalent of where the traditional banks are at today. As research from Max Friedrich of Ark Invest shows, the big banks like Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo generate $880 in annualized revenue per active digital customer. In my valuation, I was slightly more conservative by estimating that the Cash App's ARPU reaches $700 in 2029, and I estimate that the Cash App would have 110 million active users. For that to happen, the Cash App's active users would need to grow at a 16% annual growth rate until 2029. If you're wondering if I still believe Square is worth over $200 per share, the answer is yes. My intrinsic value for Square is based on the fundamentals like future growth, cash flows, profitability, and risk. And I connect Square's numbers to my bullish story for the company. If my bullish story plays out, then buying Square stock for $200 in 2020 will seem like a bargain. Ark Invest recently released their valuation of Square, and they believe Square stock reaches $375 per share in 2025. That's their base case. In a more bullish case, their price target for 2025 is $500 per share. I'd highly recommend that you check out their research and how they got to the numbers in their valuation. I'll provide a link in the description if you'd like to check it out. A really interesting thing to note is that Ark Invest Valuation only focused on the US opportunity for Square's Cash App and merchant business. They highlighted 4 growth opportunities that weren't included in their valuation. The first is potential new services and products from the convergence of Square's merchant business and the Cash App ecosystems. Connecting the two ecosystems together creates unique opportunities for Square to build better products for buyers and sellers. The second growth opportunity is their international opportunity for the Cash App and their merchant business. Obviously, this is a huge potential opportunity if Square can replicate the success in the United States internationally as well. The third growth opportunity is blockchain and Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey is one of the most popular Bitcoin bulls, so expect Square to be at the forefront of cryptocurrency opportunities. Ark Invest's final growth opportunity is additional cross-selling from the Cash App. The Cash App could achieve even higher ARPUs than the big banks by cross-selling more effectively than the traditional banks. To recap, there's lots of reasons to invest in Square, and it seems more and more analysts and investors believe the Cash App can become a leading consumer bank. Square may or may not reach $200 in 2020, but I'm confident that Square stock is worth $200 in 2020 by connecting Square's numbers to my story. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you liked this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.